it's your girl Chris. So, this is the first episode of the Buttercup Build. And I just want to kind of take this time to talk about why I even decided to start this bodybuilding journey, and then kind of just do a check-in because we are about 2 weeks in to prep. And just kind of checking on how I'm feeling and the differences that I'm seeing from being a lifestyle client and being a bodybuilding client. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so a little bit of background about myself. I served 11 and a half years active duty service in the Army. Originally, I was planning on being a career soldier. However, for medical reasons, I had to cut that short. Nothing crazy, just, some injuries here and there. Anyways, after getting out, I gained like over 30 pounds, I want to say. When I was at my most fit before my injury, I weighed about 145 pounds. And I wasn't like muscular, but I was lean, athletic from PT and all the running, things like that. So gaining over 30 pounds actually like put me in a whole crazy headspace. Like I wasn't happy at all. I was depressed all the time. Just unhappy with myself. I didn't like getting dressed up. I didn't like really going out. I felt like, my partner wasn't attracted to me anymore, even though he said otherwise. It wasn't a great space for me. So about, let's see, we're about to go into 2026. So 2024, 2024, we moved to Florida, and I decided, okay, in this move, I'm going to make a change, a lifestyle change, and I'm going to get back in shape, or at least lose the weight. And previously I did try within those years, but my headspace wasn't there, like I wasn't motivated. I would start to work out. I would try to change my eating habits, and I felt like nothing was working, nothing was changing. It was a whole thing. If you've ever been in this headspace, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just that headspace. That's all I can say about it. But anyways, moved to Florida and decided, okay, I'm gonna make a change. I am going to get in shape. I'm gonna lose this weight. Like, I am not gonna feel like this anymore. That was easier said than done. Like, let me just say that was easier said than done. I connected with my previous trainer. Her name is Madison. She's awesome, by the way. And I was not consistent. Like, I wasn't consistent with my eating. I wasn't consistently going to the gym. And, Madison was great in that she was very, very patient with me. And she didn't make me feel bad about missing. And, she would try to get to understand my headspace, where I was at, why I wasn't, going to the gym consistently. And she just gave me grace, a lot of grace. Anyways, so how did I get consistent? Well, towards the end of October 2024, I actually made a friend in the gym. And for those of you who know me, know that I have really bad anxiety, especially when it comes to talking to new people. It may not seem like it, but it takes a lot. I promise you, it takes a lot out of me to talk to new people. So for me to even compliment someone, just say something like, hey, I like your hair. Hey, those are nice shoes. I can do it now, but it's taken me years of practice and years of like pushing through my anxiety to do that. Either way, I met this person at the gym, and all I did was compliment her, like, hey, like, I like your hair. And, she said thank you, and we kind of struck up a conversation, and I found out that, hey, like, she comes in at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was just like, oh man, like, I come in at 4, but I wouldn't mind coming at 3. It's just been so hard for me to be consistent. And, I don't have anybody to push me. So she said, hey, we'll exchange numbers. I'll call you and wake you up and we can go to the gym together. Best thing that ever happened to me, I swear to God. So for 2 weeks, maybe longer, she would call me in the morning and we would meet up at our gym at 3 a.m. like clockwork, almost every day. And it just got to the point where I didn't need her to call me to wake me up anymore. Like, I could do it all on my own. And that's when I really started getting consistent. And, I talked to Madison, my trainer, about it, and she was like, okay, well, now let's kind of target your food stuff. And once again, I was a lifestyle client, meaning that I'm not really going super hard into my macros and counting my calories and things like that. No, we're making changes, very small, doable changes in my eating habits at this point. And I started to notice progress and more progress, and to the point where I loved this lifestyle. And then I decided, oh, hey, like, what if I try bodybuilding? Like, I am very much a person who's like, okay, well, I did this, like, now what can I do? So decided to challenge myself. Unfortunately, because I really love working with Madison, but she's not a bodybuilding coach. And she was like, okay, well, I don't do bodybuilding, so you'll have to find a coach that'll do that. Okay, cool. So, I did some shopping around for coaches to kind of find the best fit for me. I don't think there's anything wrong. Let me just say this before I continue. There is nothing wrong with having a male coach. Okay? Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. However, for me personally, I wanted a female coach. And I wanted a female coach because as another woman, she knows what I go through body-wise as a woman. She knows about the hormone fluctuations, things like that. Once again, not saying that male coaches do not know about this or they're not aware, but just my past experiences in the military have kind of made me, I don't want to say distrusting of men, but I just have a preference to work with female professionals when it comes to certain things. That's just me. Like, it is what it is. Anyways, so shopped around, and the very same friend who was able to, get me consistent in the gym said, hey, like, I have a friend who actually does bodybuilding and she coaches, like, reach out to her. And I did. And so I let her know my plan. Hey, mind you, this is still 2024 and we're getting ready to go into 2025. And I'm like, hey, I want to do a bodybuilding show and I don't want to do it until 2026. I want to give myself over a year to cut down some more and really work on everything before getting on stage. So that was the plan. As of right now, the show that I'm doing is in June. It's in Pensacola. And it's an OCB show, which I don't know everything about all the organizations, but I am going to do my research. For those of you who know nothing about bodybuilding, I'm going to do my research and I will create an episode that talks about the different organizations and things like that. This channel isn't really to teach anyone about bodybuilding. and its organizations and, you know, the standards and things like that. It's really just to, you know, include you guys in my journey. So I'm not really gonna like go into depth on everything because there's plenty of channels out there that you can watch, I'm pretty sure. So I'm not gonna, you know, beat a dead horse. Anyways, so with that plan, you know, decided to go from being a lifestyle client for Madison, under Madison, in, I believe it was May, I did the switch. Yeah, May. And I went and became a lifestyle client under my current coach, Ari. And shout out to my coach, like both of them. Like Madison as a trainer, she's awesome. Ari is also awesome. Both of them are like fantastic. Um, but yeah, so Ari has been very awesome, very gracious to me. She's been very patient, and she's very much the type of person where, you know, she's gonna hold you responsible for your own stuff, because this is my journey. So she's holding me responsible for my own things. And, you know, if I have any slip ups, she doesn't get angry, she doesn't get upset. You know, she's very understanding. She tries to, just like Madison, see where my headspace was at, see what happened, and things like that. You know, because these questions, these things are important. So if you're the type of person, if you mess up and someone asks you like, hey, what happens, and you get offended from it or you get defensive, like, maybe don't do it. And I say that because it's not easy. Even as a lifestyle client, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And as human beings, we have mishaps, we have mistakes. Like, no one is perfect. Anyways, so the reason of starting in May was so that Ari could get a understanding of how my body worked when it came to, you know, my workout splits, my calories, my cardio, all of it. So from May up until, what month are we in? December. We're about to be in January, literally tomorrow. We just did lifestyle focused things, and we just focused on pretty much recomping my body and, you know, cutting some more of the body fat and bringing the weight down. So since I've been with Ari, I've lost over 20 pounds, and I want to say over 12 inches on my body. Total, since getting consistent in the gym, mind you, I started at 179, 180. I'm now at 144, 145 pounds, something like that. So lost a lot of freaking weight. We'll just say that I've lost a lot of weight. Anyways, it's been great. The eating wasn't bad. It was an adjustment because of my mental health. Like, my eating, I was never much of like, oh, I'm depressed, I'm just gonna stuff my food, like my face with food. Nope, was not one of those kind of people. I'm very much I am depressed, I'm not eating, or I don't want to eat, I'm not hungry. That's just me. So for me, the biggest hurdle, even as, you know, during my cut phase or my body recomp phase, was eating when I was supposed to eat, getting consistent with the food. The gym was the easy part. Getting consistent has been, with the food, has been the hard part. Anyways, so we actually just started into prep. Like, I am 24 weeks or 23 weeks in a few days. Yeah, 23 weeks and a few days out from my show. I try not to count down like that because that is so far. So just know that we are 2.5 weeks into prep. And so far, this is how I feel. The food. Once again, the workouts are fine. The workouts are perfect. The cardio is fine. And right now, getting my steps in, I kind of have to play around my schedule with that, only because I work nights. like 5 p.m. to 3 a.m. is my work schedule. And so for me, like, I am asleep most of the day. I, get off of work and I go to the gym, and then I come home, and then I sleep for a couple of hours. And then by the time I wake up, my kids are coming home from school. I'm getting them all situated and things like that. And then I have to work. To mitigate that, I have ordered a walking pad, which should be here in a couple of days, maybe a week max. So that should be mitigated, and I can actually walk on my walking pad for not my actual cardio, but my steps, because I have to get a certain amount of steps in a day. I can get that with my walking pad. So easy peasy, lemon squeezy. The eating has been still the challenge for me. I am doing my absolute best to, how do I want to say this? I'm doing my absolute best to, stay disciplined with the food. My biggest thing is I have a really bad sweet tooth. It's actually calmed down a lot because I have not been eating sweets like that before my prep. So certain things that I used to love are just like kind of way too sweet for me now. So for me, that's a positive sign because that means I will crave it less. But the biggest thing is that 2,100 calories a day at first was a lot. Now I'm kind of used to it, but that first week into prep, 2,100 calories was a lot. Like, yeah. So far I'm feeling good. I am also not like trying to super stress over my like any numbers to include my taping my body and the scale. Why? Because I'm so far out from my show. I'm just gonna continue to trust the process, and I'm gonna continue to stay disciplined when it comes to my food and things like that. So I know if I stress about it, it's gonna make things worse, like for my body. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling. I am gonna drop a little short video clip of the workouts that I've done so far, and I may or may not do a video of my meal plan for phase 1 of prep. So if I do, if I do, it'll drop. You guys will see it. And that'll be that. Yeah. I'm new to this YouTube thing, so don't come at me too hard. It took a lot of courage for me to even do this video. But yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining in on my journey. Once again, we're at the early stages, very beginning of prep. So it's gonna be a little slow, but I'm gonna do my best to try to upload videos and keep you guys updated and things like that. So yeah, thanks. Come again.